You know that little blue dot on your map, right? The one that follows you around? Seems pretty simple. But what if I told you that dot is just the tip of the iceberg? That underneath, there's a whole hidden world of secret signals and invisible maps working overtime. This is the secret life of your phone's location. I mean, really think about it. You're deep inside a shopping, maybe down in the basement food court. There's no view of the sky, but somehow your phone knows exactly which store you're standing in front of. GPS satellites can't reach you down there. So, what's the trick? Most of us have this picture in our heads. Our phone pings a satellite in space and boom, that's it. Story over. Well, what if I told you that whole idea is pretty much a myth? Turns out, GPS is just one tool in your phone's arsenal, and a lot of the time, it's not even the most important one. The truth is, your phone is basically a master detective, and when it can't get a clear signal from space, it doesn't just give up. Oh no. It starts looking for other clues, right here on the ground, piecing together the mystery of where you are. And it has a whole team of helpers. So first things first, let's totally bust this GPS myth wide open. You see, GPS signals are incredibly weak. Think of them like a tiny whisper coming all the way from space. Tall buildings, a dense forest, even a really cloudy day can just drown them out. Plus, constantly trying to listen for that whisper, it's a massive battery drain. So weirdly enough, in the places we use our phones the most, like cities and inside buildings, GPS is often the weakest link in the chain. So if GPS is on the fritz half the time, what are these other secret clues your phone is using? Well, let's meet the rest of the detective squad. Whoa, okay, look at this. GPS is a way smaller piece of the pie than you probably thought, right? Your phone is also constantly grabbing clues from cell towers, from Wi-Fi networks, and even from its own little internal motion sensors. It's this whole team working together that makes it so, well, kind of freakishly accurate. Alright, let's start cracking this code. How do all these other clues actually work? We'll start with the oldest trick in the book. Okay, so the first thing your phone does is play a game of hot or cold with the cell towers around you. It measures the signal strength from a few different ones. You know, if the signal from Tower A is super strong, it knows it's close. If the signal from Tower B is weak, it knows it's far away. By getting a fix from at least 3 towers, it can basically draw circles on a map and figure out exactly where those circles overlap. That's triangulation in a nutshell. But here's the catch. Cell towers, they're kind of clumsy. They can get you in the right neighborhood, sure, maybe down to a few city blocks, but they have no idea which specific building you're in. For that level of detail, our detective needs a much better clue. And that clue is the unique fingerprint of every single Wi-Fi router. Yep, the router in your house, the one at the coffee shop, they all have one. It's called a BSID. And here's the crazy part. Your phone doesn't need the Wi-Fi password. It doesn't need to connect at all. It just needs to be close enough to see that digital fingerprint. Okay, but wait a second. This is where the story gets really interesting. Your phone sees all these Wi-Fi fingerprints everywhere it goes. But how on earth does it know the physical location of a router it's never ever seen before? How does it connect that fingerprint to a specific spot on a map? Because it has access to a secret, global map. And this wasn't a map built by special cars driving down every street. No, this map was built by you. We are talking about a map of over 16 billion Wi-Fi routers all across the globe. Every cafe, every airport, every home network you've ever walked past, they're all logged and they're all tied to a precise geographic location. So here's the big twist. For years, whenever your phone's GPS was on, it wasn't just finding you. It was also quietly mapping all the Wi-Fi fingerprints it could see around you and sending that data, the fingerprint and your GPS coordinates, back to Google and Apple. We have all been collectively building this massive, secret database every single time we walk down the street. And this system is so powerful, it can lead to some seriously weird situations. There's a story online about a guy who bought a used Wi-Fi router from his friend. For weeks, every time he was at his own house, his devices thought he was at his friend's old place because that's where the router's fingerprint was last logged in the global database. Kinda creepy, right? So what happens when you go completely dark? I'm talking deep in a subway tunnel with no GPS, no cell signal, not even a single Wi-Fi network in sight. How does your phone still seem to track your movement? Well, that's when it stops looking for clues outside and starts looking inward. Your phone is packed with a team of tiny sensors that can literally feel motion. The accelerometer is like its sense of momentum. It knows when you're moving forward. The gyroscope feels it when you turn a corner. And the barometer is so sensitive it can actually sense a change in air pressure when you go up an elevator. It's an old sailor's trick called dead reckoning, just brought into the 21st century. The phone takes its last known location and then basically sketches out a path based on your movements. It's like, okay, I was here, now I feel myself moving forward, now I'm turning right. It's guessing your path in the dark. And here is where it all comes together. Your phone is never just using one of these methods, it's constantly blending everything: the shaky GPS signal, the general cell tower location, the nearby Wi-Fi fingerprints, and its own motion sensors all at once. This process is called sensor fusion, and it's how the detector makes its final, most accurate guess of where you are. Now, knowing all this is powerful, but it definitely raises some big privacy questions. The good news is you have a lot more control over this than you might think. Your phone's settings let you choose. Does your weather app really need to know exactly which building you're in? Probably not. You can give it approximate location, which just gives it a general idea of your neighborhood. But for your navigation app or a ride-sharing service, yeah, you'll probably want to allow precise location so it can use every tool available to find you. You can also dig a little deeper in your settings and turn off Wi-Fi and Bluetooth scanning. This is a big one because it stops your phone from looking for those network fingerprints in the background, even when your Wi-Fi is technically turned off. Taking just a couple of minutes to manage your app permissions is the best way to take back control. In the end, it's a fascinating system. Your phone is a detective constantly piecing together clues to solve the mystery of where you are in the world. But now that you know its secrets, the final question is this: your phone knows where you are, but do you really know what it knows?